This is the time for MBA schools to wake up, to say that they have sold the dream of this consulting and sold the dream of business analytics to students. That dream is not going to work. I'm being very frank and candid. People may not like it. The ultimate jobs are only in sales. And for MBA, if you're not want to be in sales, you're unfit to be in MBA. I told you last time, I'm selling myself, even today at the age of 60. Selling is not roadside knocking on doors. There's a lot of intellect involved in selling. More and more you realize over a period of time, sales is the greatest learning ground to be a successful CEO. Right? So in banking, for example, the largest jobs are in CASA, current account, savings account. This job nobody wants to do. We hire. Last year we trained more than 10,000 CASA managers for the fastest growth rates in a bank, retail bank, is in CASA role. Within 1 year they can become a supervisor to some level. In 6-7 years they can be in a very, very comfortable position in CASA. But it's a selling job. It means going into managing a set of people or doing it yourself into the market. There are various models of selling, but at the end of the day, selling is the only way it teaches you to gain confidence in your personality. Everything else is nice and doing something on paper. Tomorrow I take the paper away. You don't know what you are. So 2 things I will conclude in the first part. Basically, hospitals are a very powerful sector. They are growing. Huge investments are coming in. The need for management in hospitals are increasing. Second, in the banking sector, retail banking is still a very booming sector. And I would still encourage a lot of people to look at retail banking as a space. Then let's look at FMCG. It's a very interesting study. FMCG historically has always used distributor salesmen to sell and distribute the product. So the company sales force, which is basically the lowest officer, typically a territory sales in charge or a sales officer, they manage a large territory and they in turn have a huge number of people in the distributor salesman model. MBA don't want to do the distributor salesman model. They want to go into directly into the company, which is not possible. There are very few jobs. Unilever sales officer is the king of the territory, or Unilever sales officer. So my feeling is that things like FMCG, tourism and hospitality, they are linked together to some extent. The graduate space and MBA space is very limited. Many of them, for example, you take a restaurant or a hotel. Yes, there is a role for acquisition of customers. Definitely, because digital marketing is coming in a big way, MBAs can do, but bulk of the jobs are operations or procurement, cooking or doing merchandising inside the area, doing cleaning. My first advice is that look at sectors which are going to hire in a big way in the next 4-5 years. And I think definitely same as hospitality and retail banking is also growing tremendously, because there's going to be a consolidation in that phase. And the consolidation phase means ultimately the only job which you cannot automate. If you're talking about people talking about automation of jobs and machines doing your job, sales is something machines cannot do. You can do self-service, you can go online like e-commerce and buy yourself. But nobody can intermediation, still we are far away from machine-based intermediation for selling. So definitely insurance industry is also big, but insurance got a bad word for a variety of reasons. MBA students have failed in insurance industry because, in fact, I am talking to the insurance industry seriously now. They have issued to hire for a role called unit manager. The unit manager role basically is a person who sells life insurance products through agents. So one of the tasks of the MBA student was to appoint agents. They can't appoint agents because they themselves are struggling to figure out why they should be in the industry. How will I convince you to come and join the industry? Now, alternative channels have come now. For example, all the life insurance companies are doing a lot of bank assurance is one model. You go to a bank, you buy a banking product, you also sell insurance. There's a big expansion going on there. So they should look at insurance industry in the non-unit manager role. I think that's an exciting area. It's a direct selling. You won't sell it to companies, you sell it to individuals through a bank or whatever. That's a very interesting area. But I would say we are on the cusp of transition. And there are casualness which we treated placement casually. Like some companies will come, I'll go to the interview, I'll get a job. That days are gone. if the student doesn't take ownership for his own placement, no, he should not depend on the placement office to give him the options. He has to generate his own option. If you remember my first book on how to write first job, the focus of the book is how to empower the student to take ownership for his placement, not to hand it over to the placement office. Then obviously you're living with the options given to you. So the first thing is take ownership for your own placement.